Hello. Hi. Good afternoon, one and all. My name is Shubham. I'm a principal BCG, and I'm honored here to be part of this panel and moderating this discussion with the panelist of esteemed industry leaders. The topic that we want to discuss today is one of the most intriguing topics in the history of retail industry. It's about the importance of consumer experience and how does it impact business growth, right? Needless to say, there have been various researches done which have proved beyond a point that customer experience is the utmost and most important factor when it comes to business growth because of its direct impact to consumer retention, their loyalty, and how to maximize the consumer lifetime value, right, which is very important. In these days, especially the headwinds from online giants, it has become all the more important. And hence, we have a panel of esteemed panelists with us here today who have excelled in the various sectors. And we would want to know from each of them how they are thinking about this important topic going forward, right? Just be with us for the next 1 hour. I'm sure we are going to have a very, very interesting discussion. To start the discussion, I would like to ask Mr. Chandra. We have seen, sir, that the consumer behavior and expectation is always an evolving journey. In your experience, how has it evolved over the years? What are the 2, 3 big pivotal changes in consumer expectation as far as your sector is concerned, or you can comment across sectors as well?
Yeah. Hi, good evening. Subhash Chandra here. Uh, well, I represent SangeethaMobiles.com. In fact, I would like to introduce myself as SangeethaMobiles.com for the simple reason that many people just don't know that Sangeetha is also available in the commerce space. So let me use this opportunity to tell you all that Sangeetha is there in the online space as well. Apart from the 785 stores that are operational of Sangeetha, which are all company owned, company operated. We are a 48-year-old company started by my father, and I am there now. My son has joined. He was supposed to be here for this session. In fact, he should have been addressing this customer experience as a subject, because during my times, customer experience was all about customer would come, ask, where is Subhash? Subhash nahi hai kya? ठीक है, बाद में आता हूँ. That was customer experience. Today, with so much of media and customer being everywhere and customer writing about us everywhere, good, bad, ugly, and everybody being a journalist today, everybody have too many views. And the customer is also very unforgiving, if I may put it across. The smallest of dissent, he will write, he'll use big words to criticize. So, in fact, it's quite challenging. Customer experience as a subject has become very, very difficult to, take care of the expectations of the customer. But having said that, by and large, most of our turnover comes from the offline. So in the offline store, the customer experience is all about, and we represent mobile phone business. So in the mobile phone space, the customer, there are only limited brands. 7 brands today contribute more than 95% of the business. Only 7 brands. So Apple, Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, MI, Realme, OnePlus contributes 95% of the business. So the customer has done his research on the online. He knows what specs he wants, right from the camera to the screen, to the battery, to the processor, to the RAM, ROM, everything, whatever he wants, he knows very well. But having said that, there is a small little role that the guy behind the counter can play. So, and in this space, we have specialists who are trained by the brands, who are deployed at the stores, and they sort of help the customer in slightly fine-tuning his requirement or suggesting a slight change. Mostly, I would say about 80% of the customers you can't change also. In fact, we wouldn't like to change also. About 20% of the customers we are able to influence upon them. This is one thing. In our case, the other thing is there are many customers who want to buy upfront. They want to give their card and ask us to swipe fully. Day in, day out, whenever I visit stores, whenever I have meetings with my staff, the one point that I drive home very much, and I would like to again take this opportunity to tell you all about, is all mobile phones today come with EMI, default. All mobile phones today come with zero interest. So you don't have to pay a single rupee extra. In fact, we have schemes going up to 24 months where you don't have to pay a single rupee. But probably somewhere the ego of the customer comes in the way. Sir, आप EMI में ले लो. नहीं यार, नहीं चाहिए. Swipe कर दो. I take great pains to tell my boys, कस्टमर स्वाइप कर दो बोलेगा, लेकिन फिर भी आप उसको कन्विंस करके 10 मिनट लेके आप EMI में ही देना. Because we don't want Samsung to become richer. We don't want Apple to become richer. We want the customer to enjoy the 24 months EMI that has been already factored in the cost, that has been already budgeted by the brand. It's absolutely useless if we are not using that and educating the customer. It so happens, sorry, I'll take a little more time, sorry, no, with all your permission. It so happened that, for the last few years, I have been closely watching another industry, which is the electric vehicle industry. And Sangeetha was the first retailer in the country way back in 1996 to get into mobile phone retailing. So similarly, I wanted to be the first one to get into EV also a couple of years ago. But I realized the margins were too small, worse than mobile. And the numbers were even more, not at all interesting. So finally, last April, we got into EV. We opened a showroom. Until that day, I had assumed, just like mobile phones, automobile is all the more, in fact, an established industry. If mobile phones, every brand is giving a zero interest EMI, I assumed that EV or two-wheeler industry or automobile industry would definitely be zero interest. I was wrong. Only that day I got to know every finance company has a different rate of interest for the same vehicle. That's when I once again, started telling my boys that, see, because we are in this industry, we assume that everybody knows it's a zero interest EMI is available, and still in spite of that, he is wanting to buy on cash or buy on full card. So you should drive this. This is one of the points. So this is where the value addition comes, even though the customer wants to. And similarly, we were talking about one more concept. In fact, Sangeetha wants to introduce this. Sangeetha wants to be the first one to do this, which is mobile as a service. What is mobile as a service? Today, all of us, just the way, fashion we buy, I don't know how many times in a year as per the data, but mobile, once in a year or twice in a year for a family, you are walking into, if not for your sake, for your wife or child or somebody you are buying. So what if I can introduce mobile as a service? Meaning, today you bought a Samsung S23. Exactly next year, when the flagship Samsung S24 gets launched, can you just walk in, give back your old phone, and walk out with the S24 on the day of the launch, be the first one to use the phone? Your EMI, whatever you were paying for S23, stays the same. And your old phone, what you have given back, in fact, you can buy a lot of accessories in lieu of that, because nowadays you have zero down payment, as I said, for most of the phones. So it can be phone as a service. This is what, in fact, Apple is already trying it out with ICICI Bank. Again, some of the customers may not be aware of it. If any of you sitting here has an ICICI Bank card, 24 months, instead of paying 100% of the cost, you can pay only 75% of the cost. And after 24 months, you can just return the phone. So balance 25% is taken care of. So isn't it fantastic? So, yeah. I'll leave
No,
at it here.
that's, I think what you said completely makes sense. Even, the consumers have become quite intelligent. I mean, one of the researchers showed that 85% of the consumers do study 3 to 4 data points before even entering the store. So earlier that was not the case. So yes, that's pretty phenomenal. Mr. Modak, I would like to ask the same question to you. Given it's a very different space, in jewelry space, how does the consumer expectation, and given it's a very large ticket item as well, how has the consumer expectation changed in as far as jewelry is concerned?
It's a cash equivalent industry, so the most attractive thing for every customer is a discount, which is not possible in this business. People are giving discounts which are on the studded jewelry, but for plain gold jewelry or plain silver items, giving discounts means selling real note at discount, which is not possible. If tomorrow somebody tells you, I am ready to give you 100 rupees note at 90 rupees, can you believe? I will not believe. Same way, I always tell to customer, if you are expecting discount, that means you are accepting that I am supposed to compromise in the purity or the all other features of the gold as such. So that point is not there at all in our business, that we can give good experience to customer as per his expectation, that we can offer heavy discounts on their product. As sir said, that interest-free EMI and all these things are also not possible, because again it's a cash equivalent, very low margin. It's a 2% post-tax margin is a very great margin in our business. It's the only thing where personal relations and personal services, which are different from the normal services, gives definitely pleasure to the customer, and it gets counted when customer speaks about you in the market, and that customer experience gives you further reference in the market and give you another set of customer which are not at present with you. I can give you one very 3-4 line example. My friend is staying at Australia. He told me uske bhanji ki shaadi hai. He is staying at Dombivli, and asked me to send some ornament of 15 to 20,000 rupees to her address. And he said, I will transfer you the money. I said, instead of giving 15-20,000 ornament, I will send her the gift voucher of 15-20,000. Let her come and select with her choice. He said, that's a good idea. So it will not get wasted. Then my manager goes along with the bouquet, sweets, and those 20,000 rupees gift voucher to the house of that Bhanji, and handed over that entire thing with telling that so and so person has sent us the money and asked us to deliver it to you. They got so delighted, because we were supposed to send those gift vouchers through courier or any other services and close the deal, but it was not like that. It was same city, so, and we were there just 3 years back. We started our showroom in that city. So they asked when you have started and all these things. So they got connected with us with this delighted experience. Not only that, Australia person got delighted that I was not expecting this kind of service, because it was just a trade. I was transferring you 20,000 and you are supposed to give 20,000 ornament or the gift voucher to my Bhanji. One more experience where just 800 rupees finger ring was there. Some customer walked in, our salesman said it is not in stock, but simultaneously she told that we can make it available and deliver it to your home. Just give me your finger measurement, I will deliver it to you. It was just 700, 800 rupees. That customer also speaks, for 700, 800 rupees you are giving this service, which is costing you more than 100, 200 rupees. So to what level you are ready to offer the service to the customer, that gets count in our business. And in our business, we always tell to salesman that first listen to customer, uski awaaz suno. Don't push your thought to her or him, and don't try to sell something excess than what they are expected to buy, because gold is not an ordinary thing. And customers are generally shy. If somebody try to push 35, 40 gram when he is desirous of buying only 20 gram, 25 gram, due to his or her shyness, she may differ or he may differ to purchase instead of saying, no, no, this is not in my budget. So instead of pushing sale, you should listen to the customer, understand what is his requirement or her requirement, and accordingly you should sell. And just for weight basis or your incentive basis or target, don't push to the customer anything which is not expected by the customer.
No, that's I think a very valuable insight. I think the basic parameters of availability, accessibility have all been done and dusted. The next frontier of growth does lie in how do you delight the consumer, and I think those were really two powerful examples that you share. Next question I would like to ask Mr. Sharma. Your business is a very, it's a business, it's a unique business in which you need to educate the customer on what are the uses of different products, right? Being in DIY, do it yourself. Could you share with us a couple of examples on how you have been able to enhance the customer experience, both across the sales journey, pre, during, and post maybe? And what is your North Star? Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve in terms of customer experience?
Okay. Hi everyone, Manish here from MR.D.I.Y. So DIY is do it yourself. It's a new concept which has come in India. We've got 110 stores plus in India now. And we are from Southeast Asia, currently in 12 countries across, and we are opening more number of stores as we go. Don't go by the name Mr. DIY. My 60% of customers are ladies, so that's a different thing altogether. I think for me, for us, the customer loyalty is good, clean, set store, organized store, because my ASP is very low, I can't push it to our customers. I think I have to be there with customer wants. There's a need that he wants something for the home, and I as a retailer is present that customer can go and shop easily. What I have to do is make customer journey more friendly, more informative by giving him a choice of around 15,000 plus products, so that the customer can take something for their house to ensure that the house looks beautiful every time they come and visit DIY and go back to their house. So that's my concept, that's my strategy. And for us, for me, loyalty is to ensure that easy check-in and check-out, If the customer is not enjoying, easy checkout from my stores, I'm sure they will not definitely come for an ASP product of 120, 130 rupees. So more pressure on the counters. And during holidays also, where I provide a very quick service to my customers and ensure that my turns are very good. And also ensure that my merchandise is at 100% plus, all my star categories which you're talking about, we ensure that our star category, star products are available for our customers so that the customers' repeat business go on and on. And I'll just give you an example. When you ask me that, the customer, they see a product and they ask what needs to be done. I think today the customers are a lot more information compared to us. I think they come with a preset mind that what they need to buy. Anything which is above 500 rupees, I think they are confident enough that they know the usage of the product. And if it's not there, then we have got our staff who are very well trained to explain our customers what is the good use of the product, and they can definitely, if they like it, then they definitely buy it. What I am also doing from my side is introducing a barcodes in every product so the customer can scan and you can see the benefits of the product. So it will be easy for us to ensure that we educate our customer in and out. Yeah.
Same question I would also like to ask Mr. Sheetal, because yours is a model which has been liked by all and it's pretty famous. So could you explain how did that come to the fore? Stone ice cream concepts, right?
Hello. Well, I don't have to. Yeah, hi. My name is Sheetal Patil. I represent a company by name Creamstone Ice Cream Concepts. As the name defines itself, that we do a lot of magic on a stone. That's we mix up a lot of ice cream flavors, ingredients. There are innovations happening every day on the flavors and innovations with respect to the ingredients. So by far, we are one of the most unique concepts when it comes to the ice creams. Everybody would have had the privilege to have maybe, say, Baskin Robbins or maybe this one. These are flavors which, by its individuality, they are palatable to taste. They taste great. But we have tried to innovate in such a way that wherein we mix up quite a few flavors and bring it make it so beautiful when we taste. Because when you beat up the ice cream on the stone, it also tries to raise the temperature a little bit. So once you are putting it in your mouth, the taste and the feel is so beautiful that it's heavenly. So that's one reason why we've been able to, people love our ice creams. So things have been good, and we have currently roughly around 90 stores in 23 odd cities, predominantly in down south. And yes, we are there in some cities of Maharashtra also. But yes, people are loving our ice creams, and there are a lot of innovations happening. We are looking forward that how do we conceptualize it in a better way so that we can take this particular ice cream to every home and to every fridge. So that's how it is about the brand. And regarding the customer experience or customer preferences, or it's a privilege, it's an honor to sit amongst a lot of legends here. Chandra sir spoke so much, Modak sir spoke so much. For the last couple of days, we've been listening to this customer experience and this one. So I come previously from coffee and some pizza, and I've sold food. I've been in healthcare, and then now selling ice creams. Especially when it comes to food, ice creams and this one, you generally tend to have all kind of around broadly, at least according to me, define customers in, I was just telling to sir that in 4 different categories, at the risk of sounding being judgmental, but just for our understanding. One is a customer who is always an inquisitive person, who is an explorer, who wants to try this. I want to try this. Think about it. So this is one customer who comes into any retail store, even for an ice cream. अरे ये flavor try करना है क्या? ये होना है क्या? कर सकते हैं क्या? So this guy is an explorer, is inquisitive. The second set of a customer is a person who is aspirational, in the sense that, we've been always wanting to try something, better food, better quality of clothes. I want to drink in a Starbucks. I want to, have a drink in a CCD, or probably I want to drink a JD, or I want to eat in ice cream, creamstone concept. So this is one, that aspirational customer, wherein you find them in most of the cities. So every customer is walking in, we need to figure out where he is. The fourth one is a person who knows what he wants. Say, for example, in coffee, a person who is drinking a black coffee, he knows, you try your every luck on him, a new flavor, new this one, he would still go with that black coffee. He wouldn't budge. So he is not your guy, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep trying. So we need to figure out where the customer, as soon as he walks in, where that customer fits in, and then try to pitch ourselves that do a suggestive selling here and there, but not to over push also, because the customer is aware that what he wants. Many a times, if I can take another minute, it so happens in QSRs, everybody would have gone into the outlets. Say, for example, burger. So the guy at the counter will not leave you, sir, you want to go with jalapenos or cheese? So technically, there is no choice for the customer. So you want coffee, okay, you want it with cream or with chocolate sauce? So bichara, coffee is going plain, but you're not allowing an option for the customer. Now suddenly his bill is supposed to be $200, but suddenly when the bill comes out, it's 280. So where did that happen? Now, this is where, when on the floor, boys, when we tend at the ground level that, go push a little bit extra, try and do the service, try and do that upsell. Somewhere, walking on that thin edge, the boys at the ground level tend to miss that point. I think when we identify these 4 customers and then do our sales pitch, I think somewhere down the lane, we will definitely have a successful model. And we will continue to retain our customer. I mean, many people say that to acquire a new customer is almost 5 to 6 times higher. So my 2 cents on this.
No, I think this is the way you archetyped into 4. That was quite amazing. Maybe we should exchange notes after the conversation. Next question is to the marketing head of Haldiram, right? Mr. Shukla. So basically, being from hardcore marketing domain, I want to understand Haldiram is a household name. Everyone knows Haldiram, right? The question is, in a scenario, in an environment where customer is getting advertisement, notifications from a lot of brands, how do you ensure that you are able to reach to the customer and stand out so that he remembers you, right? There are, in a day, I get 100 notifications from different brands. But how do you, and the power of using the data to do that, how are you able to use data and ensure that your communication stands out from the rest?
Sure. Thank you so much, Shivam Jain, for asking this question. Well, my name is Shubham Shukla, and I head marketing at Haldiram's for the retail division. I feel honored to share the stage with the industry stalwarts here. And thank you so much, India Retailers Association, for inviting us here. You all are the industry stalwarts, and you all run the country. You all run the business. I'm sure the question that has been asked to me, you all must be knowing, what exactly is marketing and how do they communicate. Well, I would want to go back around 10 years and would want to tell you all that I started my career as a waiter. I was a waiter, and how I came to the marketing is because of the customer centricity. I was working as a waiter in a small hotel at a very small city in Jharkhand, Ranchi. What I used to do is, I used to interact a lot with my customers when I was working as a waiter, and I used to understand their pain point, what is their expectation, what do they want. Sometimes they were not so well aware, like what exactly they should order, which is the high-priced item, whether they are allergic to XYZ item and all of that. And that sense of understanding of mine actually inspired everybody who is coming to our restaurant. They started giving my name in the feedback. So way back, we were all collecting the feedback in a manual card. So they were all, at the end of the bill, we were presenting those feedback form, and we were requesting, sir, if you were, delighted and happy, please do share your feedback. Those days, there was no Zomato rating. Those days, there was no, Google rating as such. So they were, writing feedback, and then they were mentioning my name in the feedback form. One fine day, my MD, he called me and he asked me कि तू ऐसा क्या करता है कि हर फीडबैक में ऑलमोस्ट तेरा नाम होता है, क्यों वो तुम्हारा नाम मेंशन करते हैं. एंड दैट इंस्पायर्ड हिम कि अगर तेरा कम्युनिकेशन बेटा इतना अच्छा है, इतना अच्छा इंटरेक्ट करता है, देन व्हाई डोंट यू कम इनटू द मार्केटिंग एंड हेल्प द टीम go and do the sales pitch, interact with your customers. And that is how, I started visiting the clients, I started giving them the presentation, and, personal reputation that I built. And from there, I started learning more about the marketing, and I came into the marketing field. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Well, now coming to the point, how do we, communicate well with the customer? So, the main idea of ours at Haldiram is to listen to your customer, understand their pain point, and then design your communication according to their, preferences, behavior, and we plan our, push notification, the emailers and all according to those parameters. So, we calculate those, NPS score, like there are certain percentage of customer, they promote you, they talk good about you. Then there are certain percentage of customer, they, are neutral about you. Neither they promote you nor they, talk negative about you. And then there are the negative, feedback. So we work on those negative feedback. We understand where is the problem, whether it is related with the service, quality, ambience. The staff was not smiling when the customers were coming in. And, that is how we plan our communication basis to every store. So it's all a hyper-local marketing strategy we use at Haldiram. And that's what we are doing. And I hope this will, take us all very high. Thank you so much.
Rightly said, Shubham. I think when you talk about loyalty, I think it's a very difficult thing to catch up. For a customer, loyalty can be product also, can be pricing also, and can be services also. But I think mostly it's the product. If you have fixed your product right, the customer will come for you again. Like Mr. Chandra said, he's coming for the brand, right? For me, it is the product. For him, it's the product. The quality is there, then definitely the customer will stand in the queue and ensure that he gets the product because he wants that to eat. Just take an example of an old shop where the person, sells puri and bhaji only. The customer queue is there. Why? Because they want that product to be there. So for all of us, it's very important to understand that product is the key, and that makes the customer loyal towards the business.
I think thank you, Mr. Shukla, for sharing such an inspirational story with us. My next question is actually to the point that you said. When product is the key, there are, for example, certain businesses where product may not be a differentiator, right? And yes, my question is to you, sir. Basically, in today's environment where there is a large insurgence from online giants, right? One of the outputs of customer experience is how do you build loyalty and retention, right? In such an environment, how do you ensure that you are building loyalty and retention when there is limited product differentiation, plus there's almost a war which is coming from online giants like Amazon and Flipkarts of the world?
Yeah. Before I take that, taking off from what Mr. Amit ji bol rahe the, he sent a bouquet to the customer along with the gold jewelry. I had forgotten, so that reminded me. Around 6 to 7 years ago, when I was addressing my store managers, whom we call as store leaders, a thought came and I mentioned that I want to introduce, you should start taking the customer's date of birth. I would want to send a birthday cake to their home on the customer's birthday. And every now and then it used to haunt me that we have not been able to do that. In fact, last year we started that, and we started that in Tamil Nadu, in a few big cities like Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai, we have started. And we have recently replicated into Bangalore also. So 1 week prior, we send out an SMS to the customer asking for the address because we don't have the address. We only have his phone number. And then one day, the day of his birthday, we send across the cake. It's logistically a nightmare because we sell about more than 1 lakh of smartphones every month. So that means every day there have to be cakes that are going to various
How you manage your P&L then?
Yeah. My friends next to me, I think you can take care of the Hyderabad city now. So it's business. Okay. So, yeah. So, okay. Answering your point, yes, Amazon, Flipkart, online. In fact, when online came, they came in hordes. We had, in fact, at one point in time, we had eBay, we had Ask Me Bazaar, we had Paytm, Snapdeal. We had so many, some of them have got shut. In fact, we lost money with Ask Me Bazaar. And in fact, I lost money with Amazon also. That's a different matter on the RICO issue. And the same Amazon invited me to their Bangalore office to address their team. And I said, it's a privilege to come and address all the youngsters in Amazon office in Bangalore, where Sangeetha is headquartered, and I'm addressing my competitors' staff. Well, it was nice. It was a nice feeling. Well, coming back to the question, yes.
Did you ask them to RICO then?
Well, they wanted me to come back to the marketplace again. I said, I will never again. I said, I will never come back. So, okay. So when, it's been 40 years, I'm 57, but at the age of 17, I took charge of business. So it's been 40 years that I've been running the ship. I've been sitting in the driver's seat of Sangeetha. From 1 store to close to 800 stores. In fact, we had touched 800 stores. We shut a few stores recently. only 2 years that Sangeetha had a dip in their top line and bottom line was when 14-15 and 15-16, not COVID. COVID was very good for us actually. COVID, all our shelves were empty. All unsold inventory was gone. All demo phones also got sold because there were no supplies, there was a chipset shortage, and there was excessive demand because of e-learning, and people were sitting at home. Mobile phone usage became 10 times more probably. So when 2014-15 and 15-16 were the 2 years where for the first time in my leadership or in the journey of Sangeetha's 48 years, as of today it is 48 years, by then, those 2 years we had a dip. And that was because online was just going berserk on prices. And not just prices, because it was a new concept and they had to establish the concept. They would even say you use it for 30 days and if you don't like it, you can return, etc. They were very, very flexible. In fact, flexible is not the word. In fact, they were extremely pampering. They had spoilt everyone by too much pampering. So that is when we had to do something crazy, and we came out with this concept of price drop protection, which is crazy, which is suicidal in a way, because probably everybody sitting here or some of them sitting here may know, in mobile phones, every other day there's a price drop happening. And whenever there is a price drop that happens, only unsold inventory gets price protected, that too for big chains like Sangeetha. In fact, for mom and pop stores, many people, poor guys, they don't even get price protected because it is 15 days from the date of sale to the retailer that he gets protected. If he is carrying stock which is more than 15 days, and if there's a 5,000 or a 2,000 amount price drop, he has to, it's his funeral. That's how the brands treat. Okay, that's the industry. But we came with a concept of price drop protection for next 30 days after the sale. And we had to do this to save ourselves. In other words, we were saying if Amazon or Flipkart is offering 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 rupees cheaper, therefore you are buying there. Tomorrow, after a week, what if the brand drops 4,000 or 5,000? Difficult to convince, you may say, on the face of it, but because we were super convinced about the concept and about our sincerity to honor it, and what did we do? We used to call the customer, we used to mail the customer, we used to message the customer, we used to reach out to him 3 times. We used to give him 7 days time to come and redeem his price drop, whatever it is. And I am very proud to say that so far we have about 3 lakh plus customers who have got, and this program still runs in Sangeetha. Every phone comes with a 30-day price drop. And we have given away more than 30 crore rupees as price drop refund. So, it might sound extremely crazy sometimes, but I think that is why we are called entrepreneurs, and only we guys can take such risks. And sometimes it can boomerang, it can hit back to you. But yes, it has worked. We never ever thought that we will run it beyond 3 months or 6 months. But the delight on the customer's face was such that we continue to do it. In fact, there's a sort of itching in me every 6 months, 1 year, what else? So recently, in fact, 4 years ago, we introduced, price drop or you drop. Not 4 years. Yeah, price drop or you drop. In fact, yesterday I was sitting here and attending one of the sessions, and somebody from RAI came and said, ET Now and CNBC wants to meet you. And I went there and I was explaining our value-added services, and I use a Samsung Fold, okay? Right now it's not here. I threw the phone, saying, if you buy in Sangeetha, no problem if you break it also. Unfortunately, it didn't break, but it stopped working. So I was without a phone for half a day yesterday. Finally managed to get a phone. So we ran a campaign. Don't break bones when you can break phones.
For us, it's like, how we can create a wow moment in my store for a customer when they see very exciting merchandise, what they need, we are able to sell them. And seriously, there are times when I see kids and moms especially, saying, wow, these guys are amazing. This product is there in this store, right? And they will use it, and then they'll buy it also. So for me, I think it works in that way, that I give the wow moment then and there when the customer is wanting to buy something, and I give that wowness to my customers. I think that's what loyalty is for me.
Mr. Sharma, my next question was actually to you only. It's a privilege to be sitting, here with so many different categories. So yours is a category which is very nascent in India, and there are many categories which are, nascent in India. They're very developed outside. So do-it-yourself is one of a kind concept, right? So this is, this is a category where consumers are not very much aware of what the product is. So I, for example, may not know what kind of products will the store, what can I do with that, right? So how do you use data to reach out to the consumer? And so building loyalty is the second point, but how do you use data to reach out to the customer and engage with them and bring them into your shop or onto the platform?
I think this is one of the format which is just opposite to the tide. Yesterday I opened my store in Haridwar, and Mr.D.I.Y. You can think about it, right? But I had my best day sales in that store in Haridwar, right? So I think the customers already know you because Google is there. Customer can always Google it up and say, Mr. D.I.Y., what is there in Mr. D.I.Y.? And your board is there 45 days before the store opening. So the catchment knows that this shop is opening, and we know what kind of product they sell. So I think for me, you will not believe I don't take any customer's number from our casters. We don't disturb our customers. We don't take their phone number also. Yes, I'm looking options for online sales. We are not there in e-commerce also. We are doing only offline brick and mortar stores. But definitely online is the way forward to be, which I can't deny. But he was asking about analysis and all those things. I think we do the analysis of what being sold to customers. That what this catchment, what this pin code is liking, which category is moving up, what the need of the customer, what the customer want, what the ASP of this pin code, and then what kind of product can I keep in my stores. You'll not believe the dead inventory which we count is around 3 months. It's only 6 to 7% of the entire lot that we sell. So that means the SKUs are very productive also, and whatever we are keeping in the store is selling. So it's the team who does the research that what kind of product that we have to keep. Though it's Mr. D.I.Y., my 15% SKUs are hardware, but definitely cosmetics, jewelry is one of the best selling categories. So Mr. D.I.Y., but ladies are coming here and buying the cosmetics and jewelry also with me. So, grooming. Grooming is also doing well for us. Pet care, car accessories, household, kitchen accessories and all. So we do very well in these categories. And it's just the research team who does the research in the catchment on what kind of product, and then we communicate what kind of product do we need in this catchment, and then it's done through like this.
Mr. Modak, my next question is to you. Jewelry is a category where you don't have probably a lot of threat from online players, right? But still you have a threat from national players. So being a focused regional brand, how do you ensure that you stand out or are able to delight the consumer, which the national players like the Reliances or the Titans of the world, they can't do?
Ours is a regional brand. It's organized. So in our sector, there is almost more than 70% unorganized market is there, and just 30% is a organized market. Out of that 30% organized market, again, these big national level corporates are contributing around 20 to 22%, and remaining 8% is by the regional brands or the standalone stores. I always say to all these regional player or the small jewelers who are coming under the organized format, who want to get regularized by regulators and all people, want to do a clean business. I always tell them, don't get afraid with the competition of the national brand, because national brands are doing something which we are doing, but it is not necessary that what we are doing they can do. So that is the difference. So we are far better than the national brand as far as service is concerned, as far as customer connect is concerned. as far as personalized things are concerned, because regional brand or the local jeweler definitely know better than the national brand the local requirement, that customer connect requirement of that area, that region, and we can do far better than them, and we can offer them the personalized service which others cannot, and language is the main problem. Because comfort comes from the conversation or the interaction, and this is the business where comfort is most important. Just saying it's a pure gold is not sufficient. Who is telling that it's a pure gold? That matters more. So while telling all these things, that language comfort plays a very vital role. Not only everywhere, welcoming word is also different. Even within the region also. Somewhere you will say, yes, welcome Anna. Somewhere you will say welcome Dada. Somewhere you will say welcome Baba. So that words are also different. You must have understanding of those words while welcoming the other side. If you start saying ya tai, and if that area is not accepting that tai word and they are expecting maushi or kaku, then that word is important to welcome, and you must understand that first, and then only you can work in that region or that area effectively by getting direct connect to the customer, because it is putting hand in the heart of the customer or entering in the heart of the customer by adapting that local things or the local required communication skill. That's why national brands are there, threat is there, but as I said always, what we are doing, they may be doing, but what we are doing, they not necessarily be doing.
No, thank you so much for that insight. My next question, sir, to you is we talk about consumer experience. It is something which cannot be measured, right? Cannot be quantified. But in business, everything is numbers, right? At the end of the day, how do you quantify, whether you are actually able to delight the consumer? What are the metrics that you track? What are the the numbers that you track to ensure that all of this that we are talking about is actually coming to life and is having a real business impact that can be explained in numerical terms?
Sure. Thank you so much for putting up this question to me. Well, not only for us in the food and retail business, but for any business who is dealing with the product and service directly, B2C model, it is very important for them to understand and know the behavior of their customer. Well, so we at Haldiram have got the feedback mechanism. So you are dining at the restaurant, there is a QR code, you can go and you can, share your feedback, and those feedbacks are being captured centrally. There is a team reaching back to them in next 24 hours and addressing their concern. So, well, that is how we interact and understand the pain point of our customer, and we always stand to sort out those pain points at Haldiram.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Patil, any last words that you would want to address this crowd? Any advice that you would want to give in terms of to the budding businesses on how to build customer experience and the importance of it?
As Mr. Modak, Chandra sir, everybody spoke so well and to the point. I think Modak sir hit the nail on the head, so to say. My 2 cents can be that customers tend to give hints in all the ways and formats. If I can just, on a lighter note, if at all I have to say, a few years back, I used to head this particular market as a regional head in my previous stint in a company. So I speak Kannada, so I used to stay in Mulund, and opposite to me there used to be a very affluent family. This teeny bubbly girl of all of 12, 13, I believe. I asked, why don't you like this particular coffee shop where I used to head, and why you're going to this other brand? She said, Uncle, selfie sariyag baralla. I don't know whether to say that selfies don't properly in that particular coffee shop. So customer giving that hint, and honestly speaking, I took it so personally. Mumbai, at that point of time, we used to have around 180 odd outlets. So next 2 seasons, I made sure that the biggest problem at that point of time was the ceiling. I don't know why all retailers, it's become a fashion that dark ceiling and then the lights come out. But the products, the outlets, except for bars, pubs, discotheques, with all due respect to all retailers, the products have to be visible. The outlets should look bright. That's what at least the young generation is giving that hint to us. Somewhere, every architect, every planner, every designer gives a gray shades and then they give the dark ceiling. It's the smallest hint that selfie chanag baralla. Our people, our customers are observing us so, so diligently that they have every reason. Though Sir said that, product is a hero. Definitely product is the hero. But apparently when everybody is selling the same product, if at all we have to define ourselves in a way that how different you are or how different you can be, each customer, younger, older, elder, or irrespective of their age and whatever it is, they give you all these hints. And it is for us to listen to how these hints are coming. There's a saying, or I read it somewhere, that 45% of our entire day's time goes in listening. But definitely we have never been taught to listen. We've been taught to read, we've been taught to write, talk, everything. But we've never been professionally taught to listen. So listen to that customer, whoever is walking in, whichever way, form and all that. He's leaving you all the hints. Just grab that opportunity, just understand what he wants, and the rest the customer will lead you to the way where you should be.
Thank you. I think that's a perfect summary to our discussion, and as I see, we are also over time. So I would like to thank all the panelists for having this discussion and giving such deep insights. I'm sure the audience has been able to learn as much as I have been. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And let's put our hands together for our entire panel.
Thank you. I just wanted to make a small announcement. In fact, we wanted to announce something to all the RAI members to try out sangeethamobiles.com, and they get something special. But there is some technical glitch, but still let me announce. 6 months of screen replacement with a pickup and drop. Whoever buys on sangeethamobiles.com, be it a smartphone or a tab or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not using this as a sales pitch, but I want to give back something to all the RAI members. As we normally charge up to 1,500 rupees extra at the point of sale. And the cost of a display, just in case you don't know, the cost of a display is 30% of the cost of the phone. So as a small gesture from Sangeetha, I would like to use this opportunity for all the people here. They can just log into sangeethamobiles.com and try us out in case there is a requirement. And we will offer you 6 months of screen replacement absolutely free with a pickup and drop. The 30% of the cost of the display will be absorbed by us. Thank you.
Okay.
And we will deliver in 1 day in Mumbai, like important cities all across India. And in South India, we deliver in 2 hours anywhere in South India except Kerala, where we are not there. So all over South India except Kerala, 2-hour delivery. All over India, in all important cities, 1 day delivery. Thank you.